Ladies and gentlemen, our top story this evening is one that has become a plague for urban India, one that has pitted pet parents against their housing societies and colonies. As cities deal with the problem of strays and their unprovoked attacks, there is another concern now: pet dogs attacking neighbors. It has happened again in Delhi, and we'll put that video out for you. This is where a young girl, all of 7 years, was attacked, bitten and bruised by a neighbor's dog. The dog was an American bully. The girl was playing with her friends near her house when the dog came charging at the children. They ran. This little girl fell down and was attacked. Her father says she sustained 15 bites before she could be rescued. The father is alleging that the neighbor had left his American bully unattended, and it is their negligence that has led to what has happened to his daughter. The father of the 7-year-old will be joining me on the show to tell me why he has gone to police over what has happened. And since we are discussing the horror unleashed by this unattended pet, let's also talk about the stringent measures that have been taken by civic bodies in the Delhi NCR region. There are certain rules in place which pet parents have to follow. For example, registration of pets is now mandatory. In Delhi, dogs that pose to be a danger can be culled if they attack humans often enough. In Noida, if your pet attacks someone, you will be slapped with a fine of 10,000 rupees, and you will also have to bear the treatment cost. In Ghaziabad, you can't keep Rottweilers, Pit Bulls and Dogo Argentinos as pets. You can also lose your pet registration if you take them out without a muzzle and leash. In fact, in Gurugram, 11 foreign dog breeds are banned. This after a surge in biting cases. While pet parents and activists may think that these rules by the civic bodies are unfair and knee-jerk, point is you need to be sensitive to the concerns of people who live around you. If animals have rights, humans have rights too. And here is what the new criminal law says, just by the way. If you take your dog or cat on a walk and they attack, injure or kill another person, then you could be possibly facing a jail term of 6 months and a fine of 5,000 rupees. In case of an attack, there can also be action against the pet owner if the pet is not vaccinated. Ladies and gentlemen, controlling strays in India is already a challenge. Amidst this, letting your pets endanger the lives of your neighbors, ignoring rules of your respective civic bodies and...
तो बच्चे को न्याय तो मिलना ही चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर हम नहीं पुलिस के पास जाते तो एक सबक मिलने की जो संभावना है वो नहीं मिलती, उसको बच्चे को न्याय नहीं मिल पाता। और ये इंसिडेंसेस बहुत बढ़ रहे हैं। मेरे पास बैकडोर से बहुत लोग आए भी कि आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ कर लीजिए, वो कंपनसेशन भी पे कर देंगे, लेकिन इससे समस्या का समाधान तो होगा नहीं और बच्ची को न्याय भी नहीं मिलेगा। और वो जो इंसिडेंस था उसको अगर आप देख लेती तो कोई भी पिता ज़रूर अप्रोच करता, पुलिस के पास ज़रूर जाता, उस प्रक्रिया में ज़रूर जाता, जिससे कि जो जिनकी वजह से ये हुआ है उनको सज़ा मिले।
आप मुझे ये बताइए श्रीकांत जी कि क्या पहले भी इस डॉग की वजह से क्या पहले भी इस तरह का बिहेवियर देखा गया है, और अगर देखा गया था तो क्या जो पेट पेरेंट्स हैं, उसके जो ओनर्स हैं, उनसे आप लोगों ने बातचीत करने की कोशिश की थी?
एक्चुअली उस दिन बच्ची मेरी नीचे अपने पड़ोस के बच्चों के साथ खेलने गई हुई थी और वहाँ अचानक उनका कुत्ता, अमेरिकन बुली डॉग था, बहुत ही वाइल्ड तरह का डॉग है, वो देखने में छोटा है पर बहुत ही डेंजरस है वो। तो वो अचानक आया और सारे बच्चे उसको देखकर भागने लगे इधर उधर। मेरी बेटी भी भागी और भागते भागते वो दौड़ते दौड़ते गिर गई। कुत्ता तेज़ दौड़ता है और वो कुत्ता उसके ऊपर चढ़ गया। चढ़ करके उसने उसको काटना शुरू किया और उसके यहाँ कनपट्टी के पास यहाँ से मांस उसने निकाल दिया, यहाँ पर बहुत गहरा घाव कर दिया, यहाँ पे बहुत गहरा जख्म था। उसने लड़ने की कोशिश की बेटी ने, 7 साल की है वो, अभी क्लास 2 में ही पढ़ती है, पर वो थोड़ा हिम्मत है उसके अंदर, तो वो रजिस्ट करती है चीज़ों को, उसमें नेचर है। तो उसने ऐसे करके उसको कहा छोड़ छोड़ मुझे क्यों काट रहा है, ऐसे करके वो बोल रही थी। और मेरा बेटा पास में था, वो दौड़ कर आया, वो बैट से मार रहा था, ज़ोर ज़ोर से वो चीखने लगा। इसी से लोगों को पता चला। तो पता चला, फिर मैं उसी वक्त घर पहुंचा ही था। मेरी वाइफ ने बताया कि शायद श्रीनी को कोई कुत्ता अटैक कर रहा है। बस मैं दौड़ करके भागा और बहुत मुश्किल से उसको उसके क्लच से, कुत्ते के क्लच से हमने छुड़ाया। उसको हटाने के बाद भी इतना वाइल्ड था कि वो हट ही नहीं रहा था। यहाँ तक कि वो उसने चोटी पकड़ ली बेटी की। जब उसके दांत उसके हाथ के पास से हटे तो उसने चोटी पकड़ ली और चोटी को, वो बाल को छोड़ नहीं रहा था। पर पड़ोस की एक महिला थी हमारी, उन्होंने एक लोहे के चेयर से जब उस पर वार किया तब कुत्ता अलग हुआ मेरी बेटी से और थोड़ी देर के लिए वो मूर्छित जैसी हो गई। फिर उसको हम उठी, वो थोड़ा होश में आई तो उसने कहा मेरा हाथ टूट गया, मेरा हाथ टूट गया। फिर हम उसको तुरंत हॉस्पिटल लेकर के गए। पड़ोस के 3-4 लोग आ गए थे, उनकी गाड़ी से हम गए। कई इंजेक्शन्स उसको लगे, 17-18 जगह पर उसको वाउंड है, ज़्यादा ही होंगे लेकिन 17-18 जगह पर उसको इंजेक्ट किया गया मेडिसिन। वो वहाँ पर कई लोगों ने देखा उसको।
मुझे ये बता सकते हैं श्रीकांत जी, सवाल मेरा पहले भी आपसे यही था कि क्या इस डॉग ने किसी और नेबर को या किसी और बच्चे को इससे पहले अटैक किया है, और क्या आप लोगों ने, ये जो डॉग ओनर हैं, इनसे बात करने की पहले कोशिश की थी कि प्लीज अपने डॉग को मजल करके रखिए, लीश करके रखिए?
नहीं, देखिए, उनको जैसे कई लोगों के पास डॉग हैं, पर ये डॉग की जो ब्रीड है वो डेंजरस ब्रीड है। पहली बात तो ये है, और ये इनका सोसाइटी में बहुत अच्छा रेपुटेशन भी नहीं है, लोगों से रिलेशनशिप्स अच्छे नहीं हैं इनके, ये सीधे मुंह लोगों से बात भी नहीं करते हैं। और डॉग को छोड़ते थे तो इनका एक गैलरी जैसी बनी हुई है, उसी के अंदर वो कुत्ता रहता था, भौंकता था। तो हम लोग ज़्यादातर जो RW है उनके इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं कि कुत्तों को आप खुला ना छोड़ें, ये सब इंस्ट्रक्शंस बने हुए हैं। लेकिन लापरवाही थी। वो पट्टे से कुत्ता बंधा हुआ नहीं था, उसके मौजल होते हैं मुंह पे, जो मास्क होता है वो लगा हुआ नहीं था। तो डॉग को चेन करके रखना चाहिए पहले तो, उसके मास्क होने चाहिए। और ऐसे वाइल्ड डॉग्स को रखने का कोई पर्पस ही नहीं है। आप क्यों रखते हैं ऐसा? अपने शौक के लिए किसी की जान ले लेना अच्छी बात तो है नहीं।
आपने इन लोगों से बात करने की पहले कोशिश की थी क्या सोसाइटी के? क्योंकि आप कह रहे हैं रूल्स हैं, दिल्ली NCR में भी जो सिविक बॉडीज हैं उन्होंने भी रूल रखे हैं, तो क्या आपने इन लोगों से बात करने की कोशिश की थी? मैं ये जानने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, was this behavior deliberate by the pet parents?
नहीं, देखिए, बात है कि जो छोटे मोटे इंसिडेंसेस से तो लोग को सीख मिलती नहीं है। जब कोई बहुत बड़ी दुर्घटना होती है हमारे देश में तब लोग प्रोएक्टिव होते हैं। तो ये एक बड़ी दुर्घटना थी, और आप कह सकते हैं कि एक बहुत बड़ी दुर्घटना होते होते रह गई। ये दोनों बातें इसमें है कि एक बड़ी दुर्घटना थी और होते होते रह भी गई। तो अब लोगों को सीख मिली। अब RWAs और यहाँ की सोसाइटी के सभी लोग आए थे हमारे पास, बच्ची से मिले भी, और हम लोगों ने एक मसाल रैली भी निकाली थी 15 तारीख को जागरूकता के लिए। तो हम उनके पास मैसेज भी गया कि आप को इस कुत्ते को हटाना चाहिए, लेकिन परसों तक मेरे पास ये रिपोर्ट थी कि उनका कुत्ता उनके साथ ही है। और केवल सामाजिक दबाव से लोग आज के डेट में सुनते नहीं हैं। उनको अगर प्रशासन का डंडा या कानून का शिकंजा ना हो तो लोग जल्दी सुनते नहीं हैं। एक एटीट्यूड सा है लोगों के अंदर कि उनको कानून ने परमिट किया है पेट रखने के लिए तो रखते हैं, पर प्रिकॉशंस बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। बहुत ही एक तरह का जो लापरवाही वाला एटीट्यूड रहता है लोगों का। कभी भी कुत्ते को लेकर पार्क में चले आते हैं, पार्किंग एरिया में घूमते हैं, खासकर खेलने वलने का बच्चों का समय होता है तभी कई लोग हैं जो कुत्तों को लेकर घूमते रहते हैं। अब एक और घटना, एक व्यक्ति हमारे पड़ोस में है, वो कुत्ता लेकर घूमते हैं, बॉल फेंकते हैं, कुत्ता कैच करता है। अब एक बच्चा अचानक उस बॉल को पकड़ने चला गया। अगर वो कुत्ते ने बॉल को पकड़ने के जगह पर बच्चे को पकड़ लिया, 1.5-2 साल के बच्चे भी पार्क में ऐसे टहलते हैं कई बार पेरेंट्स के साथ में, तो वो तो बहुत डेंजरस हो जाएगा। एक कंसर्न ये है कि एक्चुअली ये केवल मेरी बच्ची के साथ हुआ हादसा, ये तो इम्पॉर्टेंट है ही, इसमें तो हमने पुलिस को कंप्लेन किया, FIR की, लेकिन ये एक जनरल सेफ्टी की भी बात है। और भी हमारे जो आसपास के बच्चे हैं, वो पड़ोस के बच्चे, वो नीचे उतरकर खेलते हैं। दिल्ली में ऐसे ही खेलने की जगह है नहीं बच्चों के पास में, और घर में ही बहुत ज़्यादा बंद रहते हैं बच्चे, इससे उनका मेंटल ग्रोथ वैसा हो नहीं पाता। तो मैं तो हमेशा रोज़ बच्चों को नीचे भेजता हूँ, चाहे कुछ काम हो ना हो। एग्ज़ाम्स के दिन में मैं कहता हूँ नीचे जाकर खेलो, थोड़ा फिजिकल वर्क करोगे तो माइंड और बॉडी बैलेंस्ड होगा। ये सब चीज़ें बहुत ज़रूरी हैं। आज के डेट में बच्चों में जो मेंटल स्ट्रेस है, ट्रॉमा है, वो कम होता है उससे। तो इस तरह से तो बच्चे बाहर निकलना बंद कर देंगे। तो एक सोशल कंसर्न है एक बड़ा, और ये केवल मेरे पॉकेट की समस्या नहीं है, पूरे दिल्ली एनसीआर में ऐसी घटनाएं रोज़ घटती हैं। हमारे पॉकेट में कुत्ते के काटने की 10 से 12 घटनाएं पिछले 3 महीने के अंदर हो चुकी हैं। और पेट डॉग्स के साथ साथ स्ट्रे डॉग्स की भी घटनाएं होती हैं। स्ट्रे डॉग्स पर भी जो कोर्ट है उसका रवैया बहुत ही जो कुत्तों के फेवर में है, जो नॉर्म्स हैं वो कुत्तों के फेवर में हैं। वो नॉर्म्स हमारे राइट्स की बात नहीं करते हैं।
चलिए,
तो वो उस पर एक बैलेंसिंग, एक हारमोनियस वर्क करने की ज़रूरत है। एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को इसमें बहुत सजग होना होगा और एक पॉलिसी कंक्रीट बनाने की ज़रूरत है आज के डेट में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को पेट्स को लेकर।
चलिए श्रीकांत जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आई होप योर लिटिल गर्ल फील्स बेटर। यू वर टेलिंग अस अर्लियर दैट शी इज completely traumatized by this dog attack. She has sustained some 50 injuries. There are some 15 injuries that you can spot on her body. Poor little girl, your heart really goes out to her. Abba Singh, you're a lawyer, you're seeing these pictures. Sonali Chopra, you're an advocate at the Delhi High Court. You're also an animal rights activist. Kamna Pandey, welcome back to the show. Again, an animal rights activist. Thank you all very much for joining us. Sonali Chopra, I'm coming to you as someone who's a pet parent. What do you see? What do you say to what you've just heard and what you're seeing on your screens right now? How do we explain this?
See, I think this is absolutely irresponsible behavior on part of the pet parent. If it is true that the dog was left off leash, that is not acceptable. I'm a pet parent, and I can say that if I take my dog in a public park for a walk or for some playtime, it is my responsibility, and that's what the law says too. And that is so. This is something that was just irresponsible behavior. There should have been more. There should not have been such a casual approach, especially when you know your dog may have a temperament issue or may be more reactive than any other normal dog. So So then certain sense of responsible behavior should be there, which I think was missing in this situation, which also led to this unfortunate incident.
But the point is, Kamna, this is not a one-off incident. I mean, almost every day or every second day, you pick up the newspaper or you look at your social media feed and you will see videos of pet parents fighting with neighbors. In fact, just yesterday, there was one in Noida, a pet parent couple who slapped a neighbor who simply was asking them to muzzle their dog. Do pet parents get way too offensive when societies and colonies are asking them to simply protect their neighbors who may not be as comfortable with pets as you are?
Okay, so we need to begin with the case in hand first. I completely agree that this is an irresponsible pet parenting, irresponsible behavior of the pet parent. If we go by the reports as it is being reported that there was no leash, and if your dog is aggressive, you always know. She absolutely correctly said that you always know the temperament of your dog, and if your dog is aggressive, of course you're going to take, you are supposed to take, you're expected to take measures so that nobody is harmed. I do not know why the dog was left unleashed, unmuzzled, with the temperament that he has. What happened? What's the backstory? So here, with the information that we have at hand, I completely find the pet parent at fault. Having said that, the first question is, why is the government not controlling breeding? Where do these dogs come from? They come from breeders. आप गलत तरह से उसको कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करते हैं, and then you say that animal activists jump to everything, jump in the defense of animals and pet parents. No, it's not that. It's whenever you're illogical, that is when we come in. When you say that all dogs are going to be confiscated, all such and such breeds are going to be confiscated, that's not possible. That's practically not possible. What you need to do is a longer
But
route,
Kamana,
but a sure short route, which is you have to ban the breeds, the breeder, the sale and purchase of the dogs. Now, a lot of these breeds are used for dog fighting. We know in that area, that very belt, people are very fond of keeping ferocious dogs. They make their pet dogs ferocious. They ask trainers to come in to train them to be ferocious. Now, what is this happening? Are you really
in
being a
Rohini?
pet parent?
In Rohini?
Yes.
No, Kamna
Yes.
ji, wait. I'm talking
Very
about
much.
I'm talking about dogs in our colonies. In places like Rohini in Delhi, you're telling us that pet parents
Yes,
train their dogs
very
to be
much. There are
aggressive for
cases
dog
that are
fighting?
registered. Yes, they have been reported on Mirror now, and they've been extensively covered where we've gotten footages of the dog fights. There's a big racket. Satta lagta hai, करोड़ों का सट्टा लगता है. Chhatarpur farms, all the NCR region, Haryana में तो बहुत ही rampant है, Punjab में बहुत rampant है, Delhi में it is happening, Noida में it is happening. So yes, it is happening right there. It is not being controlled because सबके cuts अपने अपने जाते. We are not ready to look at the root cause of the problem. Why should a pet parent want
Okay, but that
and
can't.
demand an aggressive
No.
dog? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And in fact, a place like Gurgaon, Kamna and I are on the same page today. In fact, in places like Gurgaon, there are 11 breeds of dogs who are considered to be aggressive, who people simply can't keep. But Abha Singh, we are seeing cases of course, dogs getting aggressive, hyper aggressive in the case as far as Rohini is concerned. But my point is that pet parents get even more aggressive. If you ask them to muzzle your dog, we have seen all those lift incidents where older people are not willing to come in because the dog has not been muzzled, and then a fight breaks out.
Shreya, in fact, I think the law now needs to be strengthened. The sections which have been put in the FIR, if you see 289 of the IPC and 337, both are bailable. How much is the punishment? 3 months, maximum to 6 months. How much is the fine? 2,000, 1,000, 5,000. So you need to make it non-bailable because you are endangering life in a public space. Public safety comes into the picture. So even under the new law which has come under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, they have made it non-bailable. So I think it's still bailable. So what I'm hitting is that let's forget the fighting. If somebody's pet dog is ready to kill a neighbor's child. I mean, it's brutal, I would say. It's brutal that a 7-year-old had to go through this. So why not this man be arrested right now and put behind bars? Okay, you are good, you want to keep a dog, but if you can't control your dog, then you go behind the bars. Live like a dog in a jail. So we need to make these non-bailable. Enough of ABC rules and pet fonders coming. You have it, but if there are guidelines, you have to follow them. You have to chain them. You have to get a muzzle on the face because you can't let them go out like this. So I think the law needs to be strengthened. We need to work. If people are taking out candle marches, now they should say these two sections, 289, where you're talking of animal endangering somebody's life, or 337 where you say public spaces you are endangering a life through. So these two sections need to be made non-bailable. Punishment needs to be increased to 3 years imprisonment. The moment we strengthen the law, I will see that people will start ensuring that their dogs are not let off like this.
Sonali Chopra, therefore, the question then remains. Kamna is telling me that all these aggressive dogs that we see, all this aggressive behavior we see, largely is because people are training dogs to become more aggressive to participate in dog fights. Now, I don't think that's the case in 80% of the pet dogs who live around us. Point is, there is a problem with certain breeds of dogs, right? Point also is that some municipalities have banned them. Will, for example, just cancelling the registration of this particular American bulldog help? If a dog is that aggressive, is culling the only option? To say we are cancelling your registration, you simply cannot keep this dog anymore?
So I think cancelling the registration may not be a very effective answer here, because I think registrations have just the concept of registering your pets with the NCD has just come up. I think people are still trying to figure out their way around it. It took me a while to figure out how to browse the platform, how to register, what is required, etc. So we don't even know if this dog is registered or not, because there's no data as on date about how many people have actually gone up to the NCD and registered their dogs. Insofar as, yes, when we know there are certain breeds that are by nature temperamental or aggressive or maybe a risk, and like other municipalities have banned them, the issue is under consideration in Delhi. In fact, there was a petition before the Delhi High Court where they've given 3 months to the centre to come back with the policy decision on this part. So let's see, 1 month's gone by, we have another 2 months to go. There will be some sort of decision, because it's not like either party is going to let go of the issue that easily. But in the meantime,
Kamna Pandit,
we can't really stop anybody from keeping a certain dog as a pet till there is a ban. So hoping that there is a policy decision taken.
So I think that's the sensible thing. If a decision has been taken that there are 11 breeds of dogs that are aggressive, boliye,
so my thing is, Shreya, what I want to say is,
I think
it is a very simple thing that can be done, which is to ban the breeders, ban the sale, ban the purchase. It's easier to track it. I mean, every breeder has to have a license, mandatory license. Illegal breeding has to be stopped. And it is easy to monitor one person as opposed to the 50 or 100 dogs that he has sold in 1 month. So why are we not focusing on breeders? Ultimately, when it comes to the pet parents, I'll tell you what is the difference between the two. People might think it's one and the same. Ban it here, ban it there. It's one and the same thing. It's not. Because when it comes to breeders, you are actually targeting something that is a commercial aspect of it. Whereas when it comes to the pet parents, a lot of cases are going to be clubbed to be the same. It is going to be very difficult to separate the cases where the pet parents are unnecessarily being harassed, which is also what happens, and the cases where the pet parents are being absolutely unreasonable and very unresponsible. They are calling trainers. I personally know of people who call in trainers to train their dogs to be aggressive, not necessarily for dog fights, but also because they feel a sense of pride in having a dog who's very aggressive. हमारा कुत्ता किसी को आने नहीं देता, सब डर जाते हैं. That's a sense of pride.
आने नहीं देता. I understand that. Okay, but Abha Singh, all right. You know, as I was coming into the show, one of my younger colleagues who's a pet lover says it's not the pet, it's the parent. But that's not, I mean, you know, that also is a point.
Absolutely.
Anywhere you go, any of the videos that you're seeing, anywhere that you're, any of the videos that you see, Abha Singh, you know, leash. If you ask pet parents to put a leash on their dogs, they become aggressive. They say you are anti-animal rights. If you ask them to put a muzzle, again they will not want to put a muzzle. Where does one go from here? Look, the fact is this is an urban Indian problem. This is a problem in every society. Forget people, in fact, all the do-gooders who feed stray dogs and have become a menace in our societies.
Absolutely, Shreya. I have been handling one of the cases of Seawood Society of Navi Mumbai in Bombay High Court, and you know the people are divided: dog, pet parents, what you call them, and the society which says certain guidelines have to be followed. My issue is breeding comes secondary. Why do we have these dangerous dogs in a community living in a society where children are staying, and when ABC rules also say some breeds can be banned? So we should not allow these dangerous breeds which are ready to kill children. That is very important, because because that is the first thing. You should not have these dogs in a community, in a gated community, in a society where they can endanger lives. Secondly, as I said, if these parents come and say, the pet parent, to call them, that we will not leash them, we will not do them, increase the fine. Make the fine to 25,000 rupees the day your dog is seen without a chain. What is 1,000, 2,000? People spend 5,000, 10,000 on one meal and exotic dishes. So for them, 1,000 rupees is nothing. The fine has to be substantial so that it hits them where it hurts. And thirdly, the ABC guidelines. In fact, what I see is the top of the councils. In Supreme Court, we had Abhishek Manu Singhvi appearing pro bono for the dog lovers. In Bombay High Court, I have a speech, I face him. He says, I am appearing pro bono for the dog lovers. I mean, what is this? It becomes a fight between lawyers. So definitely, I think the laws need to be strengthened, because the passions come in, and then you'll have top of the lawyers coming, and then innocent people who have been hurt, who've been beaten up, who have been bitten by dogs, they can't afford lawyers. How will they afford? And then there are a lot of fundings. In fact, you know what? One line of people have told me, these anti-rabies injection lobbies come in, because the moment a person is bit, you have to give him 5 injections, which are costly. So these anti-rabies injection lobbies also fund these cases. So I think we need to go deeper into it.
Okay, Ava Singh, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Sonali Chopra, thank you very much. And Kamna Pandey, thank you very much. I think all of us are on the same page. There are a certain set of aggressive dogs. There are a certain breed of aggressive dogs. The government of India has identified 11, at least Gurugram. Okay, go ahead. I'll give you 20 seconds, but let me complete my point. All I'm saying is that today all of us are on the same page, that you simply need to ban aggressive breeds of dogs, especially in housing societies. They have no place there. Go ahead, Kamna,
Okay,
20 seconds after wrap the show.
Point number one, I completely agree that some certain breeds need to be controlled, but the way to control them is only through breeders. If Abba has another way, then she can please tell us.
No, why only through breeders? Why only through breeders? Society should be in a position to say, nahi, Kamna, societies, and we all now live in high-rises and societies, they should be in a position to say, these are our rules. No aggressive, these are the breeds of dogs that you simply cannot keep in the society.
Sorry, the society rules के ऊपर आपका जो country का law होता है वो हमेशा उसके ऊपर रहता है. अगर आप breeders को ban कर रहे हो, if it is a banned item you're bringing in the society,
that's what I said,
you can
the ABC
obviously
rules,
inform the police. You can inform the police.
Okay.
There is no dispute.
No, that's what I said.
exactly what
The
has happened
ABC,
in
the
this
animal
case.
birth control rules, they need to be reworked.
And on
Animal
what
control
point,
birth,
ma'am?
ABC rules, they need to be reworked.
On what point, ma'am? Could you just be specific?
No, so many points. On so many
On
points,
the fines
when
becoming
young
high.
children are being bitten to death, when these violent dogs are biting children to death, you have to work on them. You can't just have
Instead of
NGOs coming
working
forward,
on
and you can't
ABC, you
have
should
big
be-
councils
you
who are
should
dog
be
lovers
talking
coming and
about
saying, no,
implementing
let them
ABC
eat up
rules,
children,
Abba
let them
ma'am.
kill children, but we will have these dogs. No,
Abba ma'am,
we are
please
living
don't
in a
put words in
civilized
my
society.
mouth.
That's what I
Sorry.
said. Rules need to be
Instead
reworked.
of
You need to
working on
rework the
ABC
rules.
rules,
You need to
ask
rework
the
these rules. You
government
have to
to
protect
implement
children.
ABC rules.
In fact, I'll tell you, there is a case of Bombay High Court where, you
I
know,
can tell you
I'll
20
tell you,
more cases, ma'am.
recently Bombay
Sorry,
High Court
but
in
if
one
ABC
gave
Kamna, ek minute.
3
Kapna, ek minute.
3 months imprisonment was given to a dog parent because the court said that public safety in public spaces is very important, and the court gave 3 months imprisonment to the pet owner, what you call the dog parent. 3 months he was put behind bars because the magistrate said that in public places public safety is important and you cannot unleash your dogs on innocent children or innocent people like this.
I would request you, for the good of everybody, to please request the government to implement ABC rules rather than going for changes in ABC rules. Once they are implemented,
Absolutely.
a lot
That's
of the
what I'm
problems
saying.
are as
Instead
it is
of
going to
candle
go away.
marches, let's go and force the government, force the ministry.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think today's debate
And
of Shreya is
please
going to
applaud-
go
we'll
a
leave it
long
there.
way.
Please
People who are
applaud the
watching
lawyers
will come
who appear
forward.
pro
This is
bono
an important
for a
topic
cause.
which
I hope
needs to
so.
be debated upon.
I hope so. And you know what
kudos and
needs to
applause for
happen
the-
is
for
if
the lawyers
incidents
who are
like
here
these are
pro bono.
happening in
Today's show will go a
societies.
long way in getting new rules framed.
Okay. I hope so. And what
Because
really
we
needs to
can't
be
have
done is
chil-
if you know
we
you
can't
have
have
an
little
errand
children
dog in
bitten
your
badly like
neighborhood
this.
who is attacking children, you need to report it. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
You need to report these
Absolutely.
incidents to the police. That's the only way. There will be
Absolutely.
pressure that will be mounted. All of us, as I said, on the same
And the
same
owner
page.
needs to
There
be
are
better
aggressive
with
breeds
the
of
should
dogs.
not be
Simply
used
ban them.
to harass people.
Let's see.
It should not be
If the
used to
matter goes
harass
to
people.
court, maybe the owner is put behind bars. अरे भैया, harassment तो हो गया ना इस parent का. Look at what has happened. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Kamna,
Parent
done.
का हो गया.
Over.
Can you imagine your little 7-year-old
हो गया. Okay, I
child
know.
bitten so badly?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
We are done. Thank you. Kamna, thank you very much. Sonali Chopra, thank you very
Thank you,
much. And
Shreya.
Abha Singh, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
us on our top
Thank
debate
you.
this evening. This is something that does deeply usually divide people, animal lovers on one side and the others on another side. But today, I think after seeing this young girl's picture and what she has had to go through, generally people on my panel have agreed that you simply need to ban breeds that are aggressive. You cannot let this happen to another child in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. What can be